Hi, this is Arthur Chisholm with TIFM Ministry, and we have hit the streets. We're asking questions to the low country. The question is, what's going on with the people? And who are the people that is happening to? And why is it happening to them? And who is responsible for bringing about changes? Is it the pastors, the church, the government, the parents, or is it the youth themselves? You tell me.
Today, a lot of people, they don't care about what goes on around them. Like, say in my culture, they used to fight for what we have now. And what we have now is freedom. And people are just taking advantage of that.
I feel it's about people respect for each other. I don't feel that nobody has any consideration for anybody else these days.
The young kids today, they don't take time to think that what they're doing is right and what you're trying to teach them is wrong.
The youth get away with a lot of stuff. And it ain't like when we were young, grandparents and parents disciplined, and DSS involved. Now if you won't discipline your child, you can't even do that.
Can't even do that?
Yeah.
This type of culture, that type of culture, and all we trying to figure out what's right. Monkey see, monkey do.
The church is in intensive care right now. They need some searching themselves. That's the problem.
A lot of things that we traditionally sit down and just accept is just not what it is.
The hardest thing in the world to be is a baby Christian. Because you go to church and the church, sometimes skews the way you view things. And when you look at the Bible, you're not really understanding it because it's not like you're studying it, you're just reading it on your own. And sometimes you need to get back to the facts.
I was always taught the study, show yourself approved. A lot of people don't do that. They just read or they go by the word of mouth of what the preacher's saying. And that's what drove me out of the church. I was supposed to just listen to what he said instead of reading the study and show myself approved.
Well, the more we talk to them about the church, the more they turn away from church. They have more street value than they do church value, any kind of outside value. In other words, what they're doing, they done lost their guidance.
You don't need to go to church to praise God. You can
Exactly, because He loves God. God loves us and we love God.
Well, there's peer pressure in the street. And then they might have been in church at an early age, but then with other kids, man, you in church and man, this and that, you know what I'm saying, peer pressure.
Well, I think there's a higher power. I don't necessarily call him God, but I do think there's a higher power. I do. But the basis on what I was taught to believe in him, no, I don't believe in it. I'm not afraid of hell. I don't know of a heaven. I ain't never know nobody ever went there, came back and told me, what's there or confirmed that, there's a fire below gonna burn you up if you do something wrong, or there's a God above that you're gonna be able to sit on the right hand side of and sing all day long for the rest of your life and for eternity. I don't get into it.
That the parents need to be parents in the home first.
It's a child, that's his mind, because parents can control all their kids. I don't blame all the parents.
And then when they get to church, the church needs to stand up and be the church. No matter what, the principle is you need to stand up. I'm only 28, but right is right and wrong is wrong.
We all need to come together and actually mentor young men. More young men get something than females.
Jesus. And to get down on your knees, and pray.
That's the thing about the world is, we can't change the world, but that's why it's called the world. And as a Christian, it's your job and your responsibility to maintain your own family unit before you worry about the rest of it out there. Just don't immerse yourself in the garbage and then you won't be affected by it.
I tell them to study, seek the truth. Just don't accept facts just because your ministers say so. Go out there and look. That's how I find out things. And I talk to other people that seek the truth. And you ain't gonna know, it ain't gonna fall in your lap. And they even have a saying, if you don't want a nigga to know, put it in a book. There's many avenues out there for us to find out the truth of what's going on. And another thing about that belief, no. It's time for us to stop believing and start knowing. You know you're a man or you believe you're a man. You know I'm a man. Okay, cool. And that makes a difference. That's why all of this stuff people talk about how you ought to believe and first doubt. And if you doubt something, you really don't know. And your soul is nothing to play with when it comes to believing and knowing. That's why you have to seek. What does it say? Ask, and you shall be given. Seek, you shall find. Knock, and the door shall be opened.
The best way to grab a young guy or a young lady, you got to talk to them one-on-one other than a crowd. If you talk to them in a crowd, everybody going to be skinning and grinning, and just like you're not even there. But if you grab one or two and try, even if not one or two, even if you get one to step away from that crowd, then you might be able to get the rest.
If you really want to like change your life, you don't just accept Jesus into your life and raise your hands in church every Sunday. You know, there's more to it than that. You've got to like do extensive study and like learn as much as you can and know the truth, not just what the church has accepted as the truth.
People are not happy, but then if you think about it, divorce, you always see them getting remarried.
A lot of people think that getting married is an excuse for making it okay that they had a kid out of wedlock, or they try to fix things with marriage, like relationships that aren't doing too well. And what happens is it wasn't good to start with.
Because people get married for the wrong reasons. And then when they get into that situation, it ain't the same as you going with somebody and y'all able to split apart, especially when you put children in the picture. Once you get married, a lot of issues come into play. It ain't just about you no more. It's about you, them, it's about y'all, and them kids also.
Basically everybody's being unfaithful anyways before they even get into a marriage. They just don't respect marriage anymore. And people think it's just easier to quit than it is to fight for your marriage.